Well, Pain Gaming will find themselves with the proactivity strategy on their side as they're on the blue. Cream Esports will find themselves on the red, 2 quick bans away to start things off.
We talked about the Vex tax in the past. Let's talk about the Angra tax. It's very similar. You ban out the Murad, you ban out the Necroth. Let's see if Cream pays it.
They are not paying the toll, Daniel. And that may mean they're in for big trouble. They get rid of Sephra. Pain will focus on the Elsu, getting rid of the Omen and Annette, leaving characters up. This means this pretty much has to be, I would say, a Richter ban?
Okay, so that is a Richter ban. I gotta say, though, because this is probably the last time we're gonna mention it, we are finally past the crash bans.
No more crash bans in LATAM! We're free!
Thank you. It took 6 long months. 6 long months, many a sleepless nights, and many a criticism and the other things of the opinions. But now, with Crashed off, it's going to be a teamie for the first lock-in for Pain Gaming. An immediate response, it's going to be the Salute standing there, Baldum as well as Tulin locked in for Cream.
The Baldum enables them to disrupt any setup revolving around lighter weight characters, and they know that's likely to come out from Pain Gaming because of the first pick of teaming.
This is very similar coming out from Pain here. They're going with that backline. They're going with that melee jungler here in the Idioma. So how will Cream respond? How will they get to the Telenos?
The Ryoma is a really fun pick, actually, because it can be run very well by ZRK in the side lane.
Yeah.
So it lets them shuffle around, maybe stall out the pick ban for a while.
But what does it do? It still falls prey if they have the combatants on the other side of the field. Zephys gets locked in to pair up with the Tulin, and then it's going to be a Joker that Muradic locks in. Following that, an immediate Murad and a Liliana hover, what seems to be for Pain Gaming.
Well, they didn't pay the Angra tax, so the Murad comes through. That means, like you mentioned, Dioma's going to be on ZRK, and Angra's going to pick up that Murad for his side.
And I dare say I'm more scared by ZRK's Ryoma than the jungle Murad.
Right, and because he's just so powerful with that. They're cycling through heroes here for Benja. Looks like he's not quite sure what to go with.
So it's going to be that side lane Wonder Woman, which is exciting to me, coupled with the Zephyrs, coupled with the Baldum, because they have such a good CC chain there that allows for a little bit more dive to come in, and they do have the best dive mage. The Tulin can absolutely brawl in the middle of the fights. That will allow them to pretty much delete any of the lighter weight characters that can't fend for themselves. Unfortunately, you full commit to kill a Telenas. He's near a teamie, and the Resurrect comes out, and they're back in the fight.
The other terrifying aspect that I look at when I see Pain Gaming's lineup is that Pain Gaming, specifically the players on this roster, have been known to doing fantastic things when Snowball does take effect. It's something I talked about in the last match. It's something that I think holds true and holds clout here. Angra on his Murad. You've got Ryoma into the hands of ZRK, as well as Metal playing on that Liliana.
The thing that I have to say here, though, is if this were just 2 random teams I've never seen before, I think Cream wins this draft. I love it from them. I love the fact that they went for the right response in going for the Joker and the Zephys in response to that Telenos, both in lane and in team fights, and they're going to be able to deal with the Murad, I believe.
But do they have the patience to be able to deal with the aggression of Pain Gaming? It's something that we've always asked ourselves with Pain Gaming, as well as the pseudo-Geo roster that we saw from Season 2. Does Cream have the patience to weather that early game storm?
I don't even think it gets that far. I think if you go back to Daniel's statement, I love you, Daniel, but even without factoring in the relative skills of these 2 rosters and represented in our player rankings, if you just look at the 2 strengths of these 2 rosters, I favor Pain Gaming because their draft plays to all of their character specializations. Everyone over on Pain Gaming got what characters they want. Mana Frieze on his teamie, that's literally something we highlighted as a win condition, a flat-out win condition for him during Season 1.
Right, and that is the issue here, because, again, looking at just 2 random teams, I favor Cream. Pain Gaming are going to be so comfortable, though. Cream are going to have to match that.
They are. While Cream might be thinking the cash rules everything around me, it's the plays on the battlefield that need to take effect. Match number 2, game number 1 of the Latin American region starts now.
Sure, jump. Yep. We're into game. And already I'm seeing a lot of pressure coming out from Neo, diving into the mid lanes on this Tulin. And I'd like to address Tulin briefly. Tulin Liliana is a matchup we're going to see a little bit more, especially with the Nova Esports EU side loving their Tulin. How do you feel about it?
Honestly, I've always loved Liliana in sort of any matchup, especially when you're going against a two-lane that has to really snowball the game.
Speaking of snowballs, one's already rolling downhill.
Oh, no.
Deldone gets a pick right off the bat.
I don't even know how to finish my statement, TJ. What is this?
There's a snowball.
That could be a snowball.
Because the reason we talk about snowballs, I suppose I should define it for any new viewers. The concept is once you start the ball rolling, it gathers snow. It becomes a bigger and bigger threat as it goes downhill, and that's what we're seeing here, theoretically. Because the Telenas is such a good character, they get that opening kill. Kring, though, respond pretty adequately. They invade, they steal away jungle.
Oh, Angra taking lots of damage there. I do like Cream continue to stay aggressive, though. That was a big mistake from Murodic in that bottom lane, but Cream needs to continue to stay aggressive. That's how their lineup works.
Oh, and Benja, actually, if he has ultimate, he gets ZRK there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why they want to get the ultimate on Benja as quickly as possible so he can engage for his team.
ZRK can't hold this tower. That tower legitimately is going to take so much damage.
Right. But pre-3 minutes, the tower has resistance.
Yep, it won't go down, and Angra is here. Gret now will be in trouble. He will fall, surely, with this many people around him. ZRK playing extra careful. There's the blinding light for the stun, and ZRK with the poke to take him down.
I just love the Wailing Blade when it comes down, smacks him down into the ground. So well played there from ZRK to make sure they finish off the kill.
You and Ryoma, and that, I think it's like easily the most satisfying ability for you in the entire game.
Yes. I don't even play Ryoma. I don't even know why that. I just love it so much. It's just the pinwheel into the smack.
All I know is someone who plays supports, not a fan of how long range that is.
I've played Max into Ryomas, okay? I know exactly how painful it is. Maybe I'm just happy that's happening to other people.
Valid. Many people think of Ryoma as a pretty short-ranged character.
No, he is not.
It's absurd. It's like actually as long-ranged as some ranged characters. Speaking of long-ranged melee abilities, though, Benja lands a lasso that spans the length of a zip line, gets close to ZRK, tags him back behind tower again.
And ZRK says, you know what, I got some abilities as well, and they're being highlighted by the casters, so I'm going to go ahead and show them off and get you down low.
Manafreeze and Durson, the two supports, and both have turned their eyes towards this Abyssal. Manafreeze, though, already has his ultimate, which could pay massive dividends as the Resurrect keeps Deldone up.
The side of Cream doesn't want to take this fight, though, because look at Durson. He doesn't have his Wild Prison up. Without that ability, they can't really take this fight.
Wild Prison is a decent answer to the Resurrects, because you know where the Resurrects are going to come back up. You can instantly isolate them if you still have the Wild Prison at the time of Resurrection.
Right, and that was a counter being shown in the RPL for a short period of time, but it's a bit convoluted.
Ooh, Missile Dragon over to Angra.
Oh,
and Manafreeze in trouble. He'll resurrect. Do they have the full kill? No, they do not. And Angra's through to the front lines. Hits Metal with the first blood. Gret in trouble as well. He too will fall. Cream Esports lose 2 players.
TJ, did you see the damage coming out from Manafreeze of all heroes teamy? The resurrection, the damage coming out, that was absolutely ridiculous.
Because he was able to come back, he was able to play so risky, isolating that entire bush full of Cream Esports players.
Right, and people don't realize this, but the Being a Bro does a ton of damage when it comes back, especially in the early game when it's dependent on the base damage and not on the scaling of any sort of ability power.
Don't stand on it.
Exactly, do not stand where Being a Bro comes back because they're kind of stinky, if you know what I mean.
It's like standing on Lego.
Yeah, exactly. Do not want to
surprisingly painful. Benja will get out of the way. Gret nearby as well. This actually could be Cream Esports looking for a fight. Durson, though, doubles back. They're so scarred by that last fight. They don't even want to fight.
I think it was the right choice, though, because there were rotations coming in from Pain. I think that would have been heavily punished.
I agree, but he was so sure he wanted to take a fight. He stepped into the bush, found out it was teamy there, did a 180, ran back in the other direction.
Oh my goodness, Big Tree Man is afraid of a couple of raccoons. What is this world coming to?
Raccoons climb trees. Pressure under tower. Will be Benja in trouble.
Oh, no.
Eagle Eye and another dimension. Keep him pinned between the two. He can't enter the circle left behind by Angra because it does pretty massive burst damage on entering or exiting it.
Look how afraid Cream is. They're not even trying to take fights. Pain are just all over them.
Durson tries to Wild Prison his attacker, and that will get him out. Now Neo tries to punish it, but there's no way for him to do so. The Thunderbird actually tags Angra quite low.
Oh my goodness, I thought it was disastrous there. I thought he would expend the Being a Bro and not get the Resurrect, but it's away in time.
Metal's there to zone as well. So no lanes do fall. Pain Gaming still doing a good job of overall map control. We've hit that 5-minute mark. Cream Esports are already at a tower deficit.
Right, and Pain, if you look at Team E, Mana Frieza already has a Ring of the Fiend, which means they can rotate like in just crazy around the map. You can see already being popped there, that huge yellow circle. That gives massive vision, but also gives 50% movement speed to his entire team around him, and that can definitely catch Cream off guard.
I'd also like to draw your attention towards the fact that Cream are playing this pretty well, though. We criticized LATAM a lot for taking too many team fights here. They backed off of several that would not be favorable. They even tag Metal low. The only fight that really decisively they took and went against them was in that top lane.
Right, the issue though is that they're trying, their instincts are letting them down initially, right? They go in and they're about to take a team fight and then they think better of it. But I think their movements need to match the overall macro flow of the game rather than going for team fights in the first place.
Mirotic will flicker to safety. Tower does fall in the bot lane. Cream can't rotate fast enough to save it. Top lane, they are pressuring. Benja will get the tower alongside Gret. They do get a kill. ZRK is down, and Benja keeps pushing. It's only the Riki shot that makes him do a 180.
Finally, a positive sign here for Cream as they're able to take down a member and start pushing in. They just need to continue to do that, though.
Trading even in the tower game isn't bad at all. It's a very good sign, knowing there's pressure down bottom, so you respond in kind up top.
And Pain needs to start going with the aggressiveness that helped them earlier on and not continue to just run around and let Kareem run them around like they've been doing for the past couple of minutes.
Abyssal Dragon will come up now. Cream to take it. That's another positive sign, closing that gold lead to just about 2,000, a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. And look over at Pain. They're continuing to just be scared, you know, stuck in their own jungle here.
Yeah, very far back behind this tower as well. That's going to be a tie tower count. And Benja on the flank, scaring Dale done back. They'll have to force the being a bro. Now it's worn off. They can actually get kills potentially with this lasso through. Mana Frieza had a lot of trouble. Goes properly down. Mirotic trying to brawl it with Angra. Will almost get him. They do. Excellently done. Now the Wild Prison. Metal dives in with ZRK. They don't find the kill. Metal goes down. Benja escapes the Riki shot. Neo gets the speed boost. Durson finds the Wild Charge. They can't brawl versus ZRK though. And they must know that. Benja's caught out by the Eagle Eye. ZRK does go down narrowly to Neo.
Nearly kills Durson as ZRK tried to get it done with the pinwheel, but unable to because Neo came in with the clutch.
Ooh, well done. That was rude. Steals away that buff.
A little bit rude, but he wanted that really badly.
Apparently.
I mean, mic buffs are good for marksman, you know.
Absolutely. Cream Esports, I think, doing pretty well though.
Yeah, absolutely. This is, all things considered, probably the best we've ever seen them, considering the team that they're going up against.
Now, I'll ask the question we framed at the start. Is this a good sign for Cream or a bad sign for Pain?
I gotta say a little bit of both, because Cream are definitely putting the pressure on to Pain, but Pain are not responding correctly. They're definitely just stuck in their own jungle. They're trying to just play defensively rather than playing their own game, which is to be as aggressive as possible. They need to get back to that aggression.
Cream are still leading the aggression, separating up Pain Gaming up top. ZRK called out, punched down by the candle after. We'll get a nice full spectral arrow off. Angara falling in the meantime, though not even the temporal turbulence can keep him alive. That's 2 kills over. Cream still in control.
Great focus fire here from Cream. They went for the members that were most vulnerable. And if you just let Murad come in onto you and get a temporal turbulence off when you're not paying attention to him, that's when it's most dangerous. When you know it's coming and you can just fight through it, then you can take him out at the end of it.
Cream doing a very good job here. And now Durson spends the Ring of the Fiend to give them extra vision. They know Mana Frieza is all alone here. And they really do seriously consider maybe chasing him. And Mana Frieza has to spend his own Ring of the Fiend just to back off.
Right, and that is the power of that Ring of the Fiend. Before, it was just not very useful because it was only the vision. Now the fact that it's multifaceted, you can get in, get the vision, and then get out right when you realize that there's an entire team there. It's very, very useful for these supports.
Zoom.
Zoom, zoom.
This Dragon up for grabs. Mirotic and Gret will focus it down. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Cream out macroing back Pain.
They absolutely are, and the same story, TJ. Look at Pain. They are afraid. They're in their own jungle. They're in their own towers. They do not know how to respond to this aggression. It seems like they only know how to handle, how to throw out the punch. They don't know how to handle them themselves.
Yeah, and that is really kind of odd. Seeing Pain Gaming count like this takes me back to game number 2 versus Nova.
Oof.
And that's not good.
Not good at all. I want to point to Mirotic, though. Once he gets his Fenrir's Tooth, he is going to be hitting so hard.
If he gets his Fenrir's Tooth.
Yeah, it'll come. It'll come.
Eventually. Cream Esports grouping up though, wanting to grab ZRK. There's the scoop. He's pinned. The full team's there. The flicker. It might get him to safety, but Neo has other ideas. It takes him a second, but he lands the Ion Blast. That's another kill over to Cream.
It seemed like he thought the lightning strike would have taken him out, and so assumed, but didn't quite take it out. That was kind of a funny situation.
Cream though doing the right thing again. Turn that kill into tower. Durson continuing to zone. Another tower gone.
Cream, every tower they take is another step towards potentially their victory, their first victory of the Valor series.
Cream Esports winless in the Valor series to date. This would be their first victory, and taking one off of Pain Gaming would be a strong statement indeed.
Absolutely would. Look at Dale done so chunked from that rocket.
Tower under threat in mid. There's the Wild Prison, just a zone. Metal can't defend, and it's another tower gone. Oh, what are you doing? Manafrize so deep in. He did have the resurrect. He will be forced to flicker back.
Yeah, he uses the flicker and he uses the being a bros. Cream is happy to take those resources away from them. They're gonna go ahead and push again.
Nice lasso, I believe it was from Benja, coupled with the scoop. How'd that work? Oh, was it the chain lance into the Wild Prison?
I'm sorry?
I'm trying to work out just how Manafrize zoomed so far into the team.
I think he was just trying to protect the tower. I need to look at the replay, but it was a very good wild charge. Let's say that's for sure.
Yeah, Durson wild charging him off the back of some momentum. He went flying.
He absolutely did. And Cream, they have a decent gold lead. They have a very nice tower lead, but no high grounds. Nothing is certain until they get one of these high ground towers and start putting the pressure on, start warping the map so that Pain has to play from a deficit. Now they can mostly play on even ground, except for the fact that they don't have map control. Other than that, Pain can play evenly. So TJ, they need to get some of these towers.
They need to get this Dark Slayer, and Durson is very low. Anger on the chase. Dark Slayer will have to be abandoned. Manafrize, oh, that's a good Wild Prison. Nicely done by Durson, mostly to save his own life. Gret considers a recommit, as does the rest of Cream. Don't do this to me. But Benja's got the split lane. Actually, this might be one of the smartest plays I've seen in a while. Cream just go for the full split push. Sure, they might be down a player, but Pain Gaming don't know that.
Pain Gaming wilting under this pressure. Benja, the fact they went for the split push means that multiple members have to go back. That means that the Dark Slayer is going to be taken. They could have
get another chance.
Pain Gaming could have taken the Dark Slayer if that split push didn't come through.
Pain Gaming end up shadowboxing, trying to retreat, and now another chance at the Dark Slayer. This time, Cream won't fumble it. They should get it for sure.
Yeah, there it comes. There it comes. They finally get it, and this could be the final push.
If this is done right, it should be at least one high ground guaranteed. Failing a full 5-man team wipe, there's no way back into the game for Pain.
And it looks like they're going to take it a little bit slowly here. They're going to go back to base, and we're going to see Gret most likely pop this Drake sometime.
Nope. Not using... Sometimes you see the tactic of popping the Drake very, very far back, so you get the longest time with the buffed minions. Cream Esports up to bring it a little bit further forward. That gives them the advantage of surprise, not as much time to prepare. But I really do prefer the back summons.
I think they're syncing the minion waves. Or maybe Gret's just farming. Maybe that's what he's just doing.
Finishing up farm for Gret, getting him a Medallion of Troy, also gives them time to make sure all the waves are pushed. Look at how long they're holding that wave up top.
I would really like to see them have multiple chances at these towers, though.
Mirotic holding the wave up top, not clearing it, waiting for a while so they can summon Drake. I think you're right. That means all 3 lanes are roughly in sync. They'll crash at the same time. That's actually really cool macro from Cream.
It's very well done by them, but I would like to see them fight more battles with the healing and mana buff that they got here. They're not going to have many chances to do that.
No, but they are going to have a lot of chances to fight together with the minions, which are now beginning to crash. Their syncing seems to have gone a little bit awry, but the next cycle will be on point.
Right, if they continue to push these bottom 2 lanes, it'll eventually sync up because the Drake in the top lane will just push it by itself. That said, take a look at Unger here. Oh, it looks like he was going to the top lane to clear it by himself, but no one's stepping out.
No, Pain again count back behind their tower. Now Cream will go for the fight. They've got Pain Gaming pinned back. And this is beginning to look scary. Mirotic, though, drops so low, they can't quite find the kill.
Oh, that was so close there. Mirotic nearly taken out.
Oh, Gret right in. There's the death from above. Aggro scooped down. He'll take the opportunity to keep diving. It works so well. Cream lose 2 players. Durson and Gret both down. There's the dive. Dildon will be back. Manafrize will not. He's down permanently. Benja's deep within the enemy team. He'll survive. No high ground tower does fall. And actually, I spoke too soon. Metal shows up. A flicker forward and a great blinding light. Cream are backing off. Shattered.
What a great defense from Pain. They're able to hold them off despite the ridiculous pressure coming out there. And this is what I was mentioning, TJ. They can't take more than one fight, and that means that Pain are right back into this game.
If they're going to turn this into an Abyssal Dragon, and that could flip the tables completely. Cream Esports looked like they were on the brink of getting their first win, and it might all have just slipped through their fingers.
It really looks like it, though. There are a lot of towers to get through, TJ. Even though they didn't get the high ground towers, Cream has many towers of their own, so it's going to be a while before Pain Gaming can get through it, unless they can take another team fight like that.
Death timers aren't too long. Cream will have their full team back before Pain Gaming can approach their towers.
Absolutely. They need to fan out. They need to be able to defend these towers with their long-range abilities, talking about those rockets from Joker and the Ion Blast here from Tulin to help them fend off Dale Dunn.
First tower does fall. You can see the damage from Dale Dunn. Not a whole lot you can do about the Telenas, especially with the buff in hand.
Right, and they're going for a bush party here, TJ.
Matafreeze sees all. He is infinite.
What?
He is eternal, but he's unable to make the damage happen.
Pain do not follow up. If they had, that could have been a massive victory there, but they do get the tower, so can't complain too hard.
No. Push in, Scar Cream back, take advantage of the knowledge to take tower.
Oh, this high ground is under so much trouble. Telling us so much damage coming from the back line.
Correct, what have you been doing?
He's been clearing wave.
Stop.
That's how you defend. You just clear
look
wave.
at how much damage this minion's gonna do.
Oh, good job. Well done, minion. Well done, minion. That is how you defend, DJ. You use your mobility, and if Pain Gaming are going to have a bush party, you say no thanks, and you clear the waves.
Say no to bush parties, kids. Cream Esports
sure.
get a lot of pressure, and now they'll start to begin to work their way back forward because they know the buff has ended, or will do soon anyway. And what are you doing, Pain? Why are you playing so passive?
They want to have a bush party, it seems like. But there's only 3 members of Cream here. Cream are like, wait, it's like we can't have a proper push party with only 3 members.
Oh, and now Matafreeze has spotted them. The chain lance is short. Cream have to bail.
I think that the fragility of the side of Pain, the squishy members, makes it so that no one wants to push forward. Everyone is just scared to take a team fight, to be the first one to go in other than Matafreeze.
They found Benja, but he's so tanky.
Yeah, exactly. Cream has the front line, and Pain does not, and that is the issue here.
Too many tanks. Not enough damage, it feels. Matafreeze.
He's finding so many opportunities, but his team's not there to follow up.
No. Even here, he finds his own, he finds a stun. There's nobody nearby. Dale Dunn almost gets snagged in that wild prison, flipping the opportunity clock.
Where is the aggressiveness from Pain that we'd love to see in the past?
It's gone. And now, here's a Dark Slayer. Cream Esports, I don't believe it. They completely flubbed that first take. Now they might get a second chance. That was a good endure, though. Neo will survive. Benja needs to play this careful. Neo goes down to ZRK. Benja falls as well. He'll be back, shut down for a second time. Now the Dark Slayer's up for grabs. And Cream Esports are down 2 players.
The flicker wailing blade from ZRK so massive here. Can Cream hold on? They need to have some shenanigans like they did in the past, just clearing the mid waves.
Dark Slayer up. Ankara might have stepped too far forward. Mirotic goes through, but he friends it. He stays alive through it all. Ankara gets the kill in the 1v1. Now, Durson, you need to do the impossible. Gret's nearby as well. The Dark Slayer is low. There's the wild prison. That is rude. Gret will stay alive as well, backing off, but he's caught up to by Matafreeze. Stunned up, and Gret barely survives. Ankara, what are you doing? He's just soloing the tower. He'll get that. There's nothing Durson could do.
Yeah, he can't take out the mini waves. He can't take out Ankara. What are you supposed to do? They need to come back and defend this, or else the game is over.
He's a full tank. He doesn't have the damage to clear wave, and the rest of Pain Gaming come. They don't need the Dark Slayer. They've got towers all across the map. The first to crack the high ground. Gret will go in. Dale don't survive. Flickering back. Oh, Durson's down in response. Neo, though. Oh, he finds the Thunderbird. Ankara gets through, though. Trading 1-1 as ever, keeping his team in this game.
Dale Dunn's back. He had the Blade of Eternity. That means that they have this hero advantage.
Mirotic's just respawned. It'll be 40 seconds on both Neo and Durson, and the waves are beginning to crash. But Pain, what have you done? Why are you backing off now?
Pain doesn't have the health bars to continue. They don't want to continue this fight. They said they want to go for this Dark Slayer and push the safe way in their minds, but in my mind, TJ, sometimes safe is risky. It sounds like an oxymoron, but you're giving the other team the opportunity to come back.
Grant, given the opportunity for silliness, chooses to do exactly that, zoning forward, threatening a Seagull for vision. He'll get chased back now. All 4 players on him. 3, sorry. Ankara will be there for the damage. Mirotic thinks he can challenge now. He might have fallen as well. That'll be a respawn from Gret. Kept up. ZRK through. Mirotic's down as well. Durson, welcome back. You're still only 3 players up. And there's the full HP bars of Pain Gaming beginning to threaten your core as Neo's knocked low. Durson caught within another dimension.
Go to the core.
Oh, this is very dangerous. Benja's still not with the team. He's actually just recalling now. This could be game. Benja, what are you doing? Now the core's under threat. Minion waves arrive. Metal's just zoning it down. Delta's just focusing it. The full dive. Agara is low. He'll get a kill. Benja does go forward though. Delta down. Agara, Delta to both fallen. How on earth, Cream? What is this game? They stay alive. It is only Durson to do it. And 13 seconds on the 2 respawns. Does he have enough to clear wave? We've already seen demonstrable evidence it's not, but there aren't any waves close. 5 seconds left on respawns, and Pain, they abandon the wave. It's just super minions colliding with the core, and nobody there to watch. Pain Gaming back off, and the respawns are through.
Oh my goodness, Pain cannot finish this game. They're trying so hard, but they cannot do it. Cream just continuously cutting the wave off, making sure that there's no mini wave pushing onto their core, and Pain, they just don't have the ability to push in, so they keep pushing back for these epic monsters, TJ, but they're not taking those either.
Pain Gaming, fun fact, the biggest pain is from the indecision.
The hurt inside.
Yeah.
The crippling indecision. Oh my goodness. All right, we need to take account of these Blades of Eternity. Reset for a moment. These Blades of Eternity are huge. Every team fight going forward is going to hinge on them.
The respawns, they offer key. Blades of Eternity are available for 3 players over on Pain Gaming. Cream only have 1 on Mirotic.
And not only the 3 on Pain, but they have the Desticle on Daeldon as well.
Oh, that's good though. Durson zoning well while Prison will go through. Actually, a big snag. Now the dive can come through. They've got low HP bars. Daeldon down permanently. Mana Freeze, he's already spent being a pro. He falls as well. Cream Esports, are you doing it? Metal zoned back. Gret's just on the chase. They've got Metal. That is insanity. Agra gets 2 though. He flips it again. All of Cream are on the chase. They know Agra's a threat, so they send everyone after him. Durson and Neo both fell trying to kill him, and Agra's now looking for a path to escape. Mirotic will snag him. 1 snap is all it takes. Agra's back, and it's Mirotic for a second time.
Mirotic is life flashed before his eyes there as Angra was angry, trying to get him. Now Cream is trying to go for their own epic monsters.
Gret, I don't think you dare. Not with ZRK nearby. He'll zone it back, get stunned by the Wailing Blade. He's got Mirotic nearby, but their HP bars are so low.
I don't think they can take this. I think they just need to unleash it.
They do exactly that, allowing the reset now. It'll go back.
I don't know if ZRK can take it himself, though.
No. This is absurd. 23 minutes. We're on par to beat the 24-minute game of the last.
Angra, he sold his Blade of Eternity. Now he has Desticle, which means he'll stay alive a little bit longer. That could lead to a kill if Mirotic or anyone else isn't careful and think they've taken him out. By the way, if you receive a lethal blow, and Mirotic has so much damage, that could come from like half health.
Yeah. I'm a little bit in shock as to how Cream have managed to stay in this. But they now need to do more than stay in it, but find a response. They're down 2 high grounds. That is an unknowable deficit, especially considering where they started from. They've yet to get a Darkslayer or an Abyssal. They'll now start to threaten the latter. Several players rotated over towards it. The Team E of Mana Freeze does see it happening, though, spawning a full challenge from Pain Gaming. ZRK in this bush. Benja will step forward. He finds all the players. He's got the HP to do so. There is a nice bracelet. He'll flicker out to safety. The Wild Prison from Durson. It's exactly what they needed. They've got ZRK isolated as Durson dives past. Gret, though, knocks so low. Daeldon will get it. Mirotic on the ZRK. Can't quite find the kill. Now just barely snacks him. Gret needs to get out given his low HP, but he will. ZRK off the Blade of Eternity. Brawls up 1. Mirotic's got 1 as well, though. He'll be back. The full dive in the meantime is threatening, but Agra's onto the backlights. He's got 1. And make that 2. That's a full wipe. Finally, Pain Gaming have done it. They've completely wiped the Cream Esports side, and it will be the minions already working away at the core as if the 30-minute death timers themselves were not enough. In 25.5 minutes, it will be Pain Pain Gaming coming back into this game and keeping Cream Esports at 0 for game 1.
Oh my goodness. Matterfreeze at the end says, I'll do it myself. What a ridiculous game at the end there. Finally, what it took TJ to finish the game was a good old-fashioned 5v5 team fight.